Greetings, this is a test and I'm gonna make a really quick animation right now. Now I'm going to bring my trusty video timeline. Let's create some frames. This is where the bread and butter of animation. And now I go to full screen mode so I can like drag everywhere. It's easier to draw this way. And then I shift tab to bring windows, so that way I don't lag, because if you press tab it's like this small lag and it's like it's ugly and it resets view or something. I don't like it. So I go full screen and then shift tab. So let's make some quick animation. Like, first thing, I wanna draw like a, what do I wanna draw? Let's think. Let's imagine like there's like a street. Yeah, like this is a street. Okay, there's like a street, and I want to someone like come from this corner, and then next shot it's gonna be like a zoom in. So someone walks from this corner, and then there's like a whoop, and then we have a close shot of something close to here. And before I do anything, let's fix the 29.97 frames, because it's kind of annoying. You will notice problems as you start like some frames a bit longer. Like if you start cutting something, it's like it creates weird problems. So I recommend going from beginning, setting time frame rate to 24. I wish I could like change this to defaults. And let's delete everything, because all these layers are defined to that weird frame rate. So just come here, delete. Why can't I delete? Just delete. Oh my god, I cannot delete this. What's going on? Oh yeah, you cannot delete everything. Like, you cannot just have empty project. You must have something. So let's start with a nice empty white screen. Then let's add a layer, and let's cut it so we can create like small video group over here. So now let's create our background, which is the scene where it's gonna happen. So I'm like imagining like camera is looking over here, so this is like our center of attention over here. So I want to, let's make a group under this. So this is like where I want our attention to be, over here. And as you might know, there's like the rule of quarters. So if I divide this by 3, no, that was really bad division. So 1, 2, 3. Then let's divide this by 3. So this is kind of like rule of 3/4 over here. So if I scale this to the size of screen, like I want our action to happen here. It's like basics of composition. Let me just change this color to red, and now diminish, make lower opacity. So I want to make a street over here. Let's make our cameraman, like, since this is the middle of screen, this is like where we are located. So let's make the cameraman to be like kind of on the edge. He's like still on street, like on this walk, and then there's building over here. So let me turn off so I can visualize better. Okay, so let's make the, so this is gonna be the character over here. It's gonna be the street. It's gonna be another. Let's make some building over here, some buildings over there. Like, this is all scribbling, but that's how you should, like, in the beginning, like, try to visualize. Like, I'm imagining here like a road. It's going to the and important, where I'm holding camera. If I'm holding camera at eye level, the horizon, let's imagine horizon is over here. It means the eyes of our character are gonna be at this level. So if character is the same height as us filming, it means the eyes are gonna be here. So it's gonna be something like this. Okay, so this is pretty good. Let's first pass. So let's start animating the character. Let's create a new layer and play. Okay, so nothing happens here. Then our character goes like, whoop. What's going on? So this is gonna be our animation guide layer, and we can see, we can like resize this. This is kind of fun. Oh no, because right here, but I just drew the, like, how much the head and the body is gonna bob. So like imagine this is our character over here. It's like gonna be like I'm gonna like get eyes like whoop. So nothing is happening. Let's change the color of this to like blue. And now let's animate our characters. So first thing, since the velocity is gonna be linear, I want first thing I need to create is like how character progresses. So it comes from here to okay, that sounds good. Tack, there you go. So whoop. Actually, that's kind of slow, isn't it? Let's make it quicker. Whoop. Okay, so let's center, and for just for help, like it doesn't matter much, we can even delete all of this and create just a dot. So this is a dot, and I'm gonna animate this dot to walk over this line. So let's make this line a bit shorter so it ends up where the dot ends up. And also the shortcut to bring up a bar if you don't have a bar, because if you shift tab it will open all the windows, and if you press enter it's gonna bring the tab, but it kind of ruins it exits the full screen mode. So that's the thing. What is this button? Search? Huh. That's kind of cool. I never know about that. Oh well. So actually let's keep it there because it can be kind of helpful. So shift tab, control click with move tool, it will select the layer. So now I just need to come here. Whoop. Good. So okay. Let's make this a bit smaller so it's like more precise. Okay, so it walks. Let's keep it on the line. This is really like rudimentary type of animation, as you can see. Like I'm just following the track over here. And it's important because like for example here, it's gonna be the keyframe where it lands, like bam. So whoop. So it's kind of like almost frame by frame, but you don't need to do too much. Like you just make sure it's on the line. Okay, just come here. Oh, see, I made this frame. Okay, so the basic bop animation is, or as you can see, like it kind of escapes too much. So let's make another frame here. So if I play this, whoop whoop, there you go. And then he looks up a bit. Shift tab, Control Shift for this. So it like bam. Okay, so this is basic bump animation. So what happens? We got this dot, but since we got the base of animation done, it means like if I draw something over here, it's gonna animate. Whoop whoop, and it looks. What's going on? So let's cut everything here so we can plan the shot. And it's like a really quick and easy way to animate. It's really fast. So our character, like important thing now is not to move because we created the keyframe. So if we move, we create a new keyframe and it's gonna mess up the animation. Like you can see, jump there. So if you wanna move, use selection, because Photoshop doesn't detect, like it doesn't create keyframes if you move the content, because frame like layer is not moved. Only what's moved is content. So you can like change position of everything. So that's like the one thing to keep track of. So beginning, characters behind. Let's draw. Let's draw, okay, for example, like the size of the head. It's going forward. Let's draw like oops. Okay, there you go. Like, and it doesn't matter that because like it's gonna go forward and I'm gonna make new frame, so the back part doesn't matter much. And even I'm gonna put this even behind. So, but it's more for me to serve as a reference. So the hoofs are here. So let's see. This character comes from behind. Whoop. let's put a hoof down. What happens here? It goes down. Okay, it goes down here. So on this frame, I'm gonna draw this foot over here, and this is more behind, so you can see like she stepped. Fuck. And it's important, like small details, like for example over here, let's make the body crouch a bit. Like I move the body down, and it's like lifting the hoof. And here it's gonna like look forward. And let's focus on hoof placement. Let's go over here. Tack, tack, tack. And what happens here? It goes forward. And I'm gonna squish it down. And then it opens its eyes. Tuk. And let's make the hoof come forward. Actually, let's redraw everything again. It's like nice to keep things fresh, and it looks forward. It looks like I'm being filmed. Like this. That's the story going over here. Whoop. So it goes forward. Tuk. Actually, let's make it a bit longer. Whoop. That looks good. So the pony walks. It's a bit quick. Let's add some time over here just to 1 second. Like, well, yeah, 1 second is good. Actually, a bit less than 1 second. So it walks, and then there's like a close shot, and it's like it looks into your eyes. The pony is like. And it smiles. So you gotta make a story. You gotta make something fun. This is. As you can see, like this, you need to be careful with volume. You can see I made this face a bit smaller, so kind of resize it a bit, and it's like. Whoop, whoop. Let's actually deform it a bit, like to make it like. Actually, let's keep the eyes normal, and let's just deform the jaw a bit. It's like the cheeks. So, whoop, 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 whoop. The neck. And it's important to keep the same motion when you draw these frames. So it's like tick. And we can add like a small detail, like the eyes close a bit. And don't forget the squish. Squish! Like, you don't need to modify much, just a bit. It's gonna give the life to this. And make ears a bit larger. Sure, it's a bit longer. And also important, in animation there's a bounce to everything. So when there's an action, like for example, she smiled, went up, and then we got down a bit. it's gonna give a bit of a bounce, and it's like, tick. Yeah, see, like, so that's like a. Oh, we forgot legs. So what's happening here? Look, she's like, oh, what's going on? She's like, put hooves down. And that's it.
He says that's it, but it's not it. There's gonna be more. Why are you lying?
After this, it's only like refining. For example, we like background over here, so we went to close shot. And the best thing about traditional type animation in digital, like, because if everything was CGI, if everything was 3D, it will be easy. You just like pull camera forward and the background will be like calculated automatically. But what I like, what I like to do is to animate almost traditionally. So we draw everything. So let's see. There's like it looks forward, like the neck it cuts over here. So maybe you can like add some blurred buildings, like the roads over here. Yeah, it's like there's buildings and stuff. And of course, like, you can make this details you want. So let's make the sky. It's important to frame more things. So it's like the horizon. Like you need to think in art, drawing or whatever. You need to think about the anchor points, like visual anchor points. So like, for example, over here we got like sky over here everywhere. Like imagine it's like walking in a city, like pretty happy. Whoop. Like it's kinda ugly. So like, and you see like the space over here is a lot bigger. So let's cheat a bit. Let's make it a bit bigger. So actually, what we can do is like grab a square selection, Control D, and stretch it over here. So and then just blur it a bit. Let's grab a fine smudge and just like blur this. There we go. And that's it. That's how I animate and stuff. Basically, use your imagination. Let me clean this a bit. Just like got a small pony ghost over here. That's not good. And you just like add details. Like, let's see. Maybe there's like a sign over here. Like it's a drinking place. Let's draw like a cup of coffee. And use your imagination. Think, imagine how things look like. Maybe we can add some cars over here, like a parked car. There's the wheel. Let's delete this because I don't like what this looks like, and then draw again. Yeah, and it already looks like something. Like it doesn't have to be very defined. Let's make some buildings over here. Maybe some palm trees. There you go. Small short animation. And the best part is that you can always like let me clean some trash that I don't need over here. What you can do always is select like this empty layers. I can delete it. I can go to adjustment layers and add something like, for example, gradient map. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Let's see what happens. I need to pull it away. Like if I create my own gradient map layer, it's gonna create like this thing. And now it's the fun part. I can select like imagine. Wait. I think. Like all of these are enabled by Photoshop by default, so you can also do the same. And what I like to do sometimes, yeah, it's kind of like sunset. So I'm gonna make sky a bit orangish. Let's make it purplish actually. Yeah, the purplish looks good. And the orange, instead of being so, let's make it like like this. So that way, what I can make on top is go on top, add a gradient map, and let's add a blue. So it's gonna make like a pretty nice effect. If I go to tab, I can change the strength of this effect. So I'm looking to create like a nice thing over here. Let's see. And also, what can I make else? It's a bit dark. Let's make a new adjustment layer and add selective color. And I want to make the reds a bit lighter and a bit like more vivid. Okay, yeah, it's pretty good. And now the best part is that I can make things like paint the frames individually. So imagine I come here and be quiet. Actually, this is not gonna do anything. Let's make background a bit darker. Oh, okay. Let's make pony a bit whiter. So now you can see like there's like a color separation over here. And that's like this is like the magic of the old school animation, because you go frame by frame and paint the entire thing. And it can look as good as you want it to look. And that's like the thing, because if you animate a lot of in-betweens, you will have to paint them, but if you plan ahead, you can leave them and create small in-betweens like stretching and stuff after you finish coloring everything, so that way you don't need to paint by hand. But at the same time, if you paint by everything by hand, it's gonna give more legit feeling to the animation. It's gonna make it look a lot more organic, a lot more traditional. And that's the thing. And again, how fast you color this, it directly depends on how handy you are with Photoshop tools. That's why knowing shortcuts and tricks is so important if you wanna do this kind of traditionalistic animation. Because even if you can save like split seconds, if you do this a lot, it will add up. Like it can save you hours in a really long animation. So again, this is like really rough example. For example, something I will do, like if you have really good line art, actually let me disable these things. Yeah, there you go. If you have like really good line art, the selection tool can do wonders, and it can save you so much work. That's how I do a lot of things. Okay, let's make this with multiply. Oh, I kinda like this. Okay, darken. Oh, this is pretty good. I like this. It lights things up a bit. And also shift X6. Bam. This is like one of the tricks I created. Like when there's like these ugly parts. So there you go. Small animation. We can now go and add some final flashy effects. Like, don't forget to say, actually I won't save this. It's just a small demo. We can go and, for example, we can soften this a bit. Let's like create like a nice glow effect. Oh, there you go. I really like this. Let's change temperature. Let's make it like really nice sunsetty type of thing. Go create a selective color. Let's get rid of the blues. The blues are way too strong, so we can like gonna make them a bit redder. And again, like applying these effects, it's gonna hit your performance a bit. And let's have some fun. Change the let's change the color of the sky there. So I'm gonna go to my reference stock, which is a folder with a bunch of pictures I like. It's like a big folder with a lot of pictures. I'm gonna use my trusty search program. I'm gonna search for sky, and I basically like name it by myself, like manually. So let's look at the pictures that have like a nice sky. Oh look, I like this sky. This is like a really nice sky. So if I stick it over here, it's gonna be on top. That's okay. I can like fix it now and create a small this layer, and if dark, okay, no, underlying layer. Also, you can see like if I cut the whites, it's only gonna cover the sky, and that's gonna be a really nice effect over here. And we can change this to like what's a nice overlay? Actually, G to make it lighter. Control Shift R to make it plain, and now we can play with. Oh yeah, we can play with this. And also, I want to cut the liner. I want it to affect liner, so I'm gonna go here and take off this blacks, so it only affects the sky. I'm gonna soften this a bit. Then we got something special. We got something with that's I like it a lot. Again, careful with black and white. Like this is like pretty rough example, but it works. And now over here, like you see, the sky keeps the same, and that kind of breaks immersion. So when there's a close-up, I'm gonna go find the close-up. It's over here. So this frame breaks. We're gonna cut this frame, and it's pretty simple. You just zoom in and change, and that way it zooms in. And actually, I'm gonna blur this. I'm gonna like add like a nice Gaussian blur. Like let's make this stronger. So like imagine camera blurs out, and that's the thing. So we got like a nice bunny walking over here, da, 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 da. And then zooms in, and it laughs. What else can we do? Actually, it's way too warm. Let's cool it down a bit. Let's change this to levels. Come over here. Let's extend this so we can see the results. Let's add a bit of a filter. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like this. So, cut filter. It's gonna make things look a bit washed up. That's okay. And actually, we can go to RGB and make it a bit darker. Oh, this is okay. Okay, it's a bit too dark. Let's cut more. Let's cut to red. Maybe cut a bit of red. I know that's too strong. Okay, maybe not so much. Let's do it like this. I kind of like how this looks like. And something else I like to do is let's nest. This is kind of similar like in After Effects or Premiere when you nest a project. I will create a small distortion. It's gonna add a bit more color. It's gonna add a bit more spice, and I'm gonna blur this out a bit. Let's create a small Gaussian blur. Let's keep it pretty low, and you can see it kind of adds like this color. It's really visible if you zoom in a bit. Like you can see, yeah, it is nice, and it adds like a bit of that style. Like things are a bit more nice to look at. And the last touch is gonna let's play with blacks. Let's colorize them a bit. Let's make them like nice and pink or something. Oh yeah, it's pretty nice. Oh, I like this. So it zooms in. And you can see, like right now, it's really slow. Like when you load, it takes like 2-3 seconds to load. and that's why you leave this like After Effects to the final shot. Like when you have all the rough animation, applying these filters, it's pretty easy. So now let's go and render this. Let's see how this looks like. And now thou shall prepare yourself for the final results. Well, and this is the ending of the video. It was just a small test tutorial just to see if I can use Adobe Premiere, because I could make a full video in Photoshop, but that will be... yeah, no. Well, anyway, I have Patreon and it's full of these amazing people, so here's a small song to you guys. This is the Celestial Committee song. Catron is a fox. Input command is a dog or fox, I don't know. Ghostfire is a fox. Eton Emerage is normal person over here. Colin is Celestia. Chrono is a fox. Cameron Jenkins is a fox too, and Beetleboy is a fox. God damn it, why are there so many foxes over here?